We are not banning hemp. We are banning high.
Tension on the House floor over a bill to ban THC products in Texas.
They don't want to return to prohibition. They don't want a nanny state.
As lawmakers crack down on products people buy to get high, we examine the new push to expand access to medical cannabis in Texas. A major deal at the state capitol to dramatically change and boost funding for Texas schools.
This is not just a funding bill. It's a long-term commitment to the future of public education.
Billions of new dollars designated for public schools, the plan's earning bipartisan praise but also raising questions. Texas now has a new law aimed to make sure people who work in schools are not a threat to children.
We're trying to stamp all this out because we want kids to go to school in a safe environment.
We look at efforts this session to close loopholes in the state's do not hire registries.
Produced from the Capitol in Austin and airing statewide, this is the award-winning State of Texas.
Hello and thank you for joining us. I'm Josh Hinkle. Texas lawmakers are ready to ban products that people can buy to get high. The Texas House officially passed a bill to ban all consumable products with hemp-derived THC. That's the element in the plant that gives users a high feeling. Right now, you can buy consumable hemp products that contain THC. Shops and convenience stores all over the state sell things like Delta 8 vapes, as well as lotions, oils, or drinks. Supporters of the ban say the THC products can be harmful.
They are psychosis-inducing, overdose-prone chemicals masquerading as relief. These products being sold are not tested, not dosed consistently, and not supervised by a medical professional.
Opponents of the bill pushed for better regulations rather than a ban. Before the vote, they warned about the potential economic harm of the legislation.
Texas businesses do not want a ban on THC. This is a ban on 50,000 jobs held by working families across the state. It's a ban on $8 billion in annual tax revenue.
Another concern raised by several lawmakers focused on veterans and other people who use over-the-counter THC products to treat medical conditions. Supporters of the bill say those needs should be handled by prescriptions through the Texas Compassionate Use Program, or TCUP. The program provides low THC products to someone with a prescription, and as Dylan McKim shows us, lawmakers are now pushing to expand that program.
But if it gets you high, it is not legal anymore.
As Texas lawmakers ban intoxicating hemp, some argue the state is removing an option for people with chronic pain, like veterans.
You're taking away potentially their freedom to choose this product that has, in their own words, saved their lives.
But as the state closes one door, there is a push to expand the state's medicinal marijuana program.
I don't ever want somebody to be denied access to a medication that may be of benefit.
It's called the Texas Compassionate Use Program, or TCUP. Right now, it's facing accessibility challenges. Operators will drive product to drop-off locations for patients, but if the patient misses the pickup, that product cannot stay there overnight. It has to be driven back, sometimes hundreds of miles away.
You're duplicating your logistics cost at every single transaction, pretty much.
Nico Richardson is the CEO of Texas Original, one of the 3 dispensing organizations allowed to cultivate and deliver the state's medicinal marijuana. A bill that already passed the House would increase the number of organizations to 15 and allow for satellite storage facilities.
Dramatically lower the cost for the operators, which will flow through immediately to the cost of the medicine for patients.
It would also expand who is eligible under the program, allowing for people with chronic pain.
These are the medicines that I had to take. It's killing me.
Like LaTanya Whittington, who is prescribed opiates.
My debilitating and chronic pain should be designated for a physician to prescribe me cannabis.
But a question on everyone's mind.
Is it guaranteed that the teacup is going to pass the Senate?
As that question was asked Wednesday night, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick took to social media to say he supports expanding teacup. Dylan McKim, State of Texas.
Here's a look at what the Lieutenant Governor posted on social media about the Compassionate Use Program. He vowed to, quote, expand licenses and have satellite locations for the first time for prescribed products from doctors for our veterans and those in need. Shortly before debate started on the bill to ban THC, we learned about a deal between the House and Senate to increase public school funding. The legislation had been stalled in the Senate for nearly a month. Now lawmakers are ready to send billions of new dollars to public schools. State Capitol reporter Adam Schwager breaks down the details.
The Texas Senate advanced a bill to invest $8.5 billion into the Texas public school system.
Incredible, long-standing impact that will ultimately result in student outcomes to help Texas lead in education for the nation.
The bill is the result of a compromise between the House and the Senate, with Speaker of the House Dustin Burrows saying there's $1.3 billion being invested in brand new allotment for basic costs, $850 million invested in special education, and $430 million for school safety. And nearly half of this new money, $4.2 billion, is dedicated to teacher and staff pay raises. A permanent pay raise would come to teachers after their third year of teaching and after their fifth year, as the Senate pointed out in committee that veteran teachers make less compared to their counterparts in other states.
House Bill 2 delivers what Texas students and educators truly need and have been asking for. This is not just a funding bill. It's a long-term commitment to the future of public education.
While negotiators on both sides of the aisle have celebrated this compromise, some are not so enthused, like Austin Rep. James Tallarico. Tallarico doesn't feel the bill invests enough money and is concerned about the lack of new funding in the flexible basic allotment.
They're trying to micromanage our local school communities across the state, and that's not going to work. The only way that we can keep schools open and that we can increase student performance is if we allow local communities to do the job that we're asking them to do without the state looking over their shoulders and micromanaging everything they do.
The amended bill now heads to the Texas House. If the House agrees to the Senate's changes, it'll go to the governor's desk to sign. Adam Schwager, State of Texas.
Just before the vote on the school finance plan, senators approved a bill to improve school discipline policies. The legislation comes as teachers report a rise in disruptions affecting the ability of students to learn.
Violent and threatening students are regularly placing public schools at a risk of harm. Additionally, the current process for discipline are often insufficient to address the dangerous student behaviors they face today.
Senators made several changes to House Bill 6 to give schools more flexibility to address student discipline. That includes making it easier for schools to use out-of-school suspensions for students who repeatedly threaten the safety of other children. The bill clarifies rules for in-school suspensions. It also sets requirements for how to document disruptive behavior before suspending students in kindergarten through third grade. Texas now has a new law aimed at rooting out bad actors from schools and other places where children learn.
We're trying to stamp all this out because we want kids to go to school in a safe environment.
We look at efforts this session to close every loophole in the state's do not hire registries. After an explosive committee hearing led to an investigation into a state Medicaid contractor, the case is now closed. What the Texas Attorney General is saying about the findings.